Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me today to get started with the transformation to my brand new Amg G63. So I've just picked up the G-Wagon, the newest Shmee-mobile, and brought it straight away to Topaz Detailing. Now, as many of you will know, the plan is to give this car a Topaz skin, their newest product, to give it a complete colour change. We're going to be taking it inside, past my Mini G parked back there, the Suzuki Jimny. We'll catch up with Nabil from Topaz to talk about the plans ahead before we load up the car onto their new car lift to take it to the upstairs area where the Topaz skin works are carried out. As well as that though, we've also teamed up with Amg, where one of you guys has the opportunity to win one of these, a Mercedes Amg G63. Yes, you are hearing me correctly. The car with taxes and shipping included, plus $20,000 in cash. You'll find the link down below, or go to omaze.com/shmee, where one of you could be the lucky winner. And best of all, every donation also supports the charity Same You. For now though, it's drizzling out here. Let's get this loaded up and head inside, although just before that, the delights of a Ferrari 430 rolling by. Let's get the G-Wagon though inside Topaz and get started with the Topaz skin. V12 roaring into life, so a bit of a shuffle around to make the room to pull this inside. But just quickly, there are some amazing cars here at 812. We've got a Maybach here tucked under the covers. This is like if you had x-ray vision, you could spot what some of these were. Not entirely sure what we're looking at there. That's definitely a Senna. Rear wing gives it away. That's a Pista, can just see the front. That, well, that's pretty obvious, isn't it? We definitely have a Lanzante P1 GTR there. The Aventador just rolling out, looking very cool. And of course, my Mini G. Oh, what else is coming out as well? Another 812, tailor-made 812. And that's pretty obvious too. Rolls-Royce Cullinan lurking underneath that cover. So everything doing a bit of a swap around before we're going to have the moment, I guess, in a second of my G, my big G, next to my little G as it goes inside the new look workshop. Topaz have just done a full restoration inside here. It's really pretty impressive. We'll see that in a moment. G63 burbles into life, so I better stand a little bit out of the way because, well, another Senna is manoeuvring at the moment, so better be to be completely clear of everything going on for this second. 488 goes past, AMG GTR, and this ridiculous beast, the G63. Now, Big G and Mini G going side by side. The height difference, the size difference, everything to do with these is ridiculous. Look at how much taller it is and just bigger and beefier in every possible way. That's a 3-door, kind of a +2 seating configuration in the back. This thing is of course a complete off-roading monster, the ultimate off-roader really. If you also want luxury and power, because, well, it's not holding back, not short of some horsepower or two. So in that rolls with my show plates, just to remind you, the Shmee 150 plate, that's not the final plate that's going on the car, that's just the show plate. But this is the ramp that's going to take it upstairs, and this is the Topaz workshop, currently filled with some amazing cars. The Challenge Stradale just coming out. What else is in here at the moment? 812, Pista Pilotti 720S, Vantage. That's such a nice car. And then the G, now on the ramp, which can actually hold a Rolls-Royce or a G63 or anything particularly big and heavy. This ramp has been made, of course, to support them all, as we're going to be able to take it up and have a proper look at it. All the cars are now back inside, work continuing in the wash bay, but we're rejoined on the channel by Nabil. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very excited. This is a completely new adventure.
Totally different. Usually you bring your cars in for clear protection, but you're bringing this beast for something totally different this time, and I'm really excited about it.
So, as a quick reminder, guys, in the past, here at Topaz, we've done clear paint protection film on my Senna, the Ford GT. Lusso had it as well. The previous owner had that done here. Basically, all of the cars have protection film because it's a no-brainer if you're going to do the kind of driving that I do with them out on the roads. But over recent months, you've been completely redeveloping, opening your new workshop with 2 floors for your new product, Topaz Skin.
Exactly. So it's a different type of concept. You're bringing it in to get protected, but also to change the color. So it adds a little bit of a twist to it.
So I'm not going to lie, I have been looking forward to what was going to be the first opportunity really that we could actually do this. And the G63 came along right now, and I had this crazy idea, obviously you know this, and some of you guys out there will know this, that it would look pretty cool if we made this match with the Senna. And I use this because one of the purposes of this car, for me at least, is to use it to tow around the Senna, to save some of the mileage, to take it to more events, and the G63 is the ultimate way to do that.
What a car to do it.
Have you ever driven one?
No, I had the older one.
Okay, you had the older one yourself?
I had the older one for a couple months, but then I sold it straight away because the drivability of it was like driving a tractor, and I just couldn't deal with that.
Well, so, I promise you, the new one is a massive step on from the previous generation. The previous generation, the steering's all a bit wafty, it's kind of everywhere.
Exactly, yeah. Trying to overtake in the old one is like...
yeah, you turn the wheel about 5 seconds before you want the car to turn. Well, this is completely different. As you can see from the spec, it's quite plain, I guess, to begin with. Black, it's pretty generic. It's very G-Wagon spec.
Yeah, very not your type of spec.
It's very not my type of spec.
But we worked on this, didn't we? We said how we're going to spec it. I said, just bring it to me black, and then we can do everything afterwards.
Yes, so I ordered the car, guys, in Obsidian Black, the base metallic black. It's a great kind of standard color. I mean, let's be real, it's a G63. It's not a permanent car in my collection, so it's great to have it with that quite, you know, standard look at the end. I've got the night pack, so you get things like the darker indicators, these bits rather than being chrome or black, because they will fit very nicely with the intended end result. So as Nabil knows well, my favourite colour is of course light blue. You've done 2 MSO Cerulean blue cars of mine, because you did the 675 Coupe and the Senna quite recently. That was, I say quite recently, it was about 6 months ago now.
I know, it feels recently.
It feels very, very recently. So the aim is, and you tell me if this is all doable, because I've been putting some renders together for how it looks, to basically make the majority of the body cerulean blue, and then to make these parts, for example, where it splits here for the fenders, in a navy blue, along with the entire bumper. We'll leave these bits black.
But you basically want to replicate your Senna.
That's the aim, to replicate the Senna. So I was thinking more about this. My Senna has the whole gloss black canopy. I mean, just quickly, like this, the roof section and the windows. So the roof should stay gloss black, to go with that. These bits should all be cerulean blue. I think these bits should still stay black because these are iconic G-Wagon features.
Agreed, And then all the sections here.
All the lower section to go navy blue, to match with my navy blue carbon. And then the wheel caps, here's going to be a challenge. I don't know if you can do this, but on my Senna, I have these in cerulean blue.
I think that we should be able to do that. That's the cool thing about Topaz. Essentially, you're painting the car. But it's just peelable paint. So whatever you can paint in normal paint, you can paint in Topaz skin. So we should be able to do that. That shouldn't be a problem.
I mean, we should talk a little bit about paint, because this car, I'm noticing as we stand here, has huge flat sides. And it doesn't take particular paint, I would say, knowledge to be able to work out that this isn't the greatest finish in the world.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing with a lot of modern, not all, a lot of modern paint finishes, they come with orange peel. This is what it's actually paint distortion, but it's mostly commonly known as orange peel, right? So it just looks like a peel of orange.
Yes.
If you can get away with removing this, that's what we're doing to this A12 over there, which is very cool, and removing the orange peel from the paintwork, but with Topaz skin, we can get it to be better than that, better than the factory finish.
Okay, so for everybody watching, just so you can take this in, this is kind of standard factory paint. It's what's accepted to be norm. You can see the kind of ripples and wobbles in the paint. I guess is the best way to describe it. You don't get a clear reflection. This is kind of properly detailed. Normal paint. That is standard in the modern world. That's what we accept and expect on this kind of car. I'm looking forward to seeing how the skin is going to look later on. Well, I say later on, it's a process. There's a lot of work behind this, but we'll go upstairs, I think, to talk more about that.
Exactly, we'll go through it. Let's go upstairs, let's get the car upstairs, choose a colour, like purple.
Yeah, actually, I want to see more of this process. So, first up, car upstairs, then let's go and check out how you're actually going to make the paints, because this is quite cool as well.
Yeah, it's really good. Let's see it, let's do it. Let's go upstairs.
Up it goes then, and I'm going to take the stairs, which is barely faster than the car lift. 812 just manoeuvring there as well. And we can see this monster from above. And don't forget, there is an opportunity for one of you to win one of these with Omaze. As I said earlier, if you make a donation, you're entered into the opportunity to win. And all of the proceeds, of course, are donated to support charities in the process. And one of these, a G63, could be one of yours. So this will come on up in a second. and we will have it upstairs here in the workshop, where we're going to take a look at that in a second as well. Just wait for this to come all the way up. And just like that, the G63 is upstairs. Thank you very much.
One step closer to the transformation.
Indeed, indeed. And I've spotted this. Can we go take a look at this?
Yeah, let me show you. So a lot of people are asking, how does it peel? How does Topaz skin peel? And we've done a bumper with a color. We usually do very bespoke colors for customers. So we always spray them onto this panel, which is a California tea panel.
Like a test panel.
Exactly.
So this is the fascinating bit, because I think, obviously you and I know a lot about this, but for those watching, the original paint here is white.
Yep.
And this is a Topaz skin that has been started to be peeled off, just so you can see exactly how that works.
Yeah.
In a dark green, a lovely dark green, a bespoke color for a customer.
Yeah. Exactly, and the way it works is, I mean, the peelability is very, very easy. You can literally just start.
That's how it comes off,
and it just comes straight up.
And you can see the different layers. So it's peelable layer underneath, and then all the paint on top.
And then you have the area of this is where stage 1 and stage 2 are the product, which is what makes it peelable.
Yep.
And then anything on top afterwards basically just comes straight off. So then you're using actual paint, manufacturer's paint.
It is paint.
Yeah, on top of this product, and then you put we have our own clear coat, which is self-healing as well, which goes on top of the paintwork, which
so
is
morphs itself for some protection as well.
Exactly.
On top of that.
Yeah, and the thickness, as you can see, is very, very thick. Yeah, it's about between 250 to 350 microns.
Wow.
So when you look at paint protection film is 200 microns.
Okay.
So it can be, because you can apply it on.
Yeah.
Double the thickness of paint protection film.
Well, that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
it's really, really cool.
I did just spot the car lurking in the corner.
Yeah, let's
go check that out.
Yeah, let's have a look at it.
So talk to me about this.
Do you know what it is?
I know what the colour is. Obviously, it's a Bugatti EB110, and this colour, I don't even need you to tell me this. This is Lamborghini's Diablo SE30 colour.
Yes,
which is from the era of that car as well.
Exactly, yeah. And it's in great condition, isn't it?
So this is fully Topaz skinned on top of the original colour.
Exactly. The original colour was a silver. The paintwork originally wasn't that good. It had some stone chip. I mean, it's quite an old car.
Of course, yeah.
You're going to have stone chips. You're going to have a couple of bits of bobs of cracking. So what we did is we actually applied our stage 1, stage 2 product on top. And then we started filling on top of that. So when we come to take off the Topaz skin, all the original defects in the paint are still there.
Ah,
so
okay.
And originality.
And I was going to say, people might not realise, but on a car like that, very different to how we're doing this on the modern G63, very limited numbers of them. Collectability, desirability comes from its, as you said, originality.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that. Exactly.
And that's quite important. And this, it looks amazing, doesn't it?
Yeah, with this colour, it's awesome.
So, I mean, just so people can see this, to come in a little bit closer, I mean, starting around the badge, for example, you wouldn't ever know that wasn't the original factory paint job. It's like, I mean, we're not like a vinyl wrap where you see edges and cuts and funny lines.
It's a different product, because, I mean, with the price point, first of all, is very different. And the time it takes is very different as well. So it's a different product to vinyl wrap. Vinyl wraps are always going to be around. It's always going to have a market. It's always going to be very, very, it's relatively fast, relatively cheaper to do than this. And it works great for a lot of people.
And I know a lot of people are going to ask, just for a quick idea, we're talking from £10,000.
Yeah,
to do a full Topaz skin.
Yeah, that's the starting price, yeah. So if you have a look.
Door shuts and everything.
Yeah, door shuts.
And I love that. The Topaz skin badge that you put in the door shuts.
I put it in there just so people could know it's a peelable paint.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
they might assume it's the factory paint.
Exactly. So you can see all the way through here, it's all been done as well. I mean, it's
the entire thing.
It's basically a respray.
Stunning. I mean,
it's peelable.
You can see that, and you don't have, mirrors. These awkward shapes. Yep. These are where, when you're installing PPF, you have to have lines for the different templates. On here, it's just all completely clean.
And even areas like here, which are all smaller bits.
Yeah. You could never PPF or cover or vinyl wrap that, for example.
And if you could, it will have some limitations. It won't be 100% perfect in that way, as this is now. Should we look at how we mix the colour up?
Let's do it. Cool. That means walking past the spray booth, and I remember coming in here when it was just being installed, not yet in work in progress as it is now.
Yeah, fully done. So obviously we put glass all the way through because we wanted to have the visibility. So when a customer comes up here to see his car being done, or her car, they've got full visibility of what's happening with the car. So it's very, very cool, and it's cool to see it going from one colour to another colour.
And at the moment, that is a Lamborghini Urus.
It's actually, so this customer is actually matching his Urus to his Aventador.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, so he wants them to be a matching pair.
Very nice.
So he's got very bespoke colour on his Aventador, so he's having this now being done in the same colour.
Okay.
So let's walk through here. This is our paint mixing room.
Right. Wow.
This is where all the magic happens when it comes to the paint mixing. So you have different systems all across the world. We choose to use Spizaka. It works very well with our product. This is all the Topaz skin, obviously coming in. So it's literally different stages. You have different stages within the Topaz skin product itself. But the cool bit is this section here, where you can select the colors that you want to choose, that you want to mix up. So you have two ways of doing it. One, you give me a code, or you give me the name, and I type it in, then we bring up the name and you can see what it looks like on the screen, which I'll show you in a second. Or, if we don't have it on our system, we can then use the spectrometer to take a sample of it and match it to paint.
Which is what we're going to have to do in a second. So, for example, does this have, like, if you look for it, I'm going to throw you on the spot here, Ferrari Tour de France blue.
So if we go Ferrari, and if I go to color group, blue,
have a look at the blues.
This will show me every single blue.
Blue Nata, Zero California, Blue Tour de France. That's the colour of my GTC 4 Lasso.
There you go.
I was thinking that could be quite kind of cool to do the arches in the colour of my Lasso.
Yeah, potentially, exactly. That would match quite cool. And then if you look here at the screen, the way it works, if you go above, it shows you different angles of how the paintwork looks.
Just like when you're looking at paint on the screen. That's actually, that's trippy.
Yeah, it's cool.
The camera can actually see that, how it's dark from that angle, and then from up here you can see all of the colour.
That's meant to show you the differences between it being a dark shade and a light shade. So, So what happens when we choose our colour, we then start to go through the process of putting in all these toners. Each one of them will say to you how many grams to put in, etc. You mix it up, which we'll show in the next video when we start doing your car, and you'll see the colours start coming to life, which is amazing. That's the coolest bit.
And then you create it and go out and do it. So we'll have to use the spectrometer to do the main cerulean blue.
Let me show you.
So I'll have to go get you a sample, I think, to actually be able to show that. Yeah, we'll definitely need that, and then we'll come back up here and show that very shortly. As if by magic then, I've got a paint sample of cerulean blue. So
useful.
You'd need that. This is exactly what we go with. This is the how do you call it?
A spectrophotometer.
Spectrophotometer. Which is what you use to scan the paint code. And the thing to iterate here, this is a bespoke colour from MSO. This isn't like an off-the-shelf.
Yeah, you won't find it on any system.
So it's not preloaded. Then how does this work?
So what this does is that it takes measurements of whatever you basically put it to. Inside it's got 3 lamps, so it takes 3 different types of angles of measurements.
And you can do this on a curved paint frog like this, or you can have a flat spray out, or you can have a car.
Find the flat, exactly, and then whatever that's gloss, we can do that. And then once we've done that, which I've done here, so we'll be able to look and show you, you go over to the measurements, and we do a search.
So here's one I made earlier. We've just done the scan on Shmi Blue, so it loads up what it saw just now doing the scan.
And there you go, it gives you all different aspects. The higher the number, the better it is. So here, this one, that's a Ford colour.
Okay.
Celestial blue.
Celestial blue from Thailand. That's the closest match it found.
Exactly.
And you would go from this to a spray out card.
Exactly. Yeah, we'd use a spray out card. We could use potentially even something like this, and then so you can get to see the angles
and see that it matches close enough. Then basically, I would sign it off.
And then we mix it up, get it in the booth, and spray it.
And that would be that. So you've seen how a colour like Tour de France is already in there, and how you scan a custom colour and add that to the system. And we'll see some spray out cards, and then it'll be ready.
I'm looking forward to see what it looks like.
Me too.
Matches.
Start up and time. You can see the lights. They do this kind of light show when you start the car up. This is now going to be brought up into place upstairs with a bit of room cleared, ready for it to be prepared ahead of everything that's going to be done. Which means, Nabil, it is time to basically leave the car in your hands.
Exactly. Leave it with me. The next time you're going to see it.
Well, I'm going to pop back actually. I'm going to pop back and we'll have a little bit of an update, I think.
Cool, okay, fine.
But if not, you're going to be the man responsible. Of course, the car just being manoeuvred slightly here. I want to get out the other way. I'm going to go all the way around it actually, just to be extra safe and out of the way. But I know you've got to head off. You've got things to get to, so we'll say farewell right now. Let you go off and do everything that you need to get done.
Definitely, yeah. I'm really excited to do this project. I want to see what it's going to look like. I'll let you know what it looks like when the colour sample is sprayed on.
Yes.
That's going to be cool.
We need to see those as well. All coming very soon. Thanks very much. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
The mixing of the paints here is ridiculously clever. It works out the various different ingredients, literally, for the recipe that makes up that paint. They get measured, poured in, the system would recalculate. So if there was too much of something, for example, it would change the total. This is the desired total and therefore how much of each of the different things are required. And Nabil gave us a little bit of an introduction to this earlier, but clearly a lot of different things that make up the paint, different, I mean, this isn't something I know too much about, but the different pearls, the different colours themselves, and clearly in this case, different amounts of each that will make a different finish. So this is going to be for one of the samples, and you can see exactly how it's done. Here we go then, spraying out the sample cards that we'll be able to take a look at when those are prepared. The paint being mixed then, all of the different bits added, only a very small amount of the actual blue that you have in the paint, but I had no idea there were so many different things involved. And we're starting to see the colour there. That's really cool. Fast forward a bit and we've got some moulds and spray out cards to take a look at to make a final decision. So have a look at what we've done here. So first on the right, we've got the cerulean blue, the body colour paint of the Senna. Next to that, we've got the two colours that we picked out to try and make these spray out cards of. The first is the Suzuki cerulean blue, and it might be the same in name, but it's definitely quite a notch darker. The second is this, Ford Celestial blue, which was nearly an exact match. And if I hold this paint frog, named a frog because of obviously how it looks, but in the shape of a car, alongside that, you will spot that to the human eye and to the camera, those are effectively the same. So that is going to be the colour of choice. We've got the frog mould, we've also got the spray out card to verify it later on. So let's dismiss this one for the moment. For the darker sections, the accent, the contrast colour, we did these two spray outs. The darker one is Ferrari's Blue Scotia. The lighter one, while still being pretty dark, is actually a satin version of the Mercedes-Benz Designo Mystic Blue. Now this is normally in gloss, and it is actually a colour I thought about doing on the G-Wagon itself until I decided to do the Topaz skin so that we could go for this result to match with the Senna. But what's quite interesting between these two is if I just grab here the key for the Senna, which I happen to have on me, you can see that satin blue carbon, painted also with the silver S for the Senna logo on the back of it. But what you don't get is ever a consistent colour due to the way that you have the carbon fibre weave inside it. So this colour is kind of somewhere between the two. I think maybe the Blue Scotia would be a touch closer, but I'm leaning more towards the Mystic Blue because it's a Mercedes colour, and because sat right here like this, I think those make a particularly nice contrast, which will look really cool on the car. And this also has a bit of purple to it in the pearlescent, akin to how the car's key has it as well. So stay tuned to see my final decision, but I think at the moment I'm leaning towards these two, but really cool to be able to make the samples, to be able to use the Spectro to read it, to get that colour code, to basically find almost perfect matches. And of course you could then go to McLaren to get the exact match and colour code as well, which Topaz could do, but in this case I think we're going to be going with these two. Just a final decision to be made as to exactly which of the darker shades I go for. I'm going to be leaving the car here in the very capable hands of the team at Topaz Detailing to undergo its transformation. I'm very excited to see the results of this. We've had an introduction today with Nabil to the process behind Topaz Skin, but this location has changed in a very big way since we started discussing, and in fact this floor didn't even exist, but now there's the spray booth, the whole paint mixing setup, and this car is going to be transformed into the dual tone blue. So Nabil's given us that introduction. He'll also be taking us along for a progress update and to see some of the works in action as this car changes colour. And don't forget also, along with Omaze, one of you could be in with a chance of winning one of these, a Mercedes AMG G63, the car with the taxes paid and shipping included, along with $20,000 in cash as well. To be in with a chance of winning, you'll find the information, the link is down below, omaze.com/shmee. You can make a donation to Same You, a charity that supports young adults who have suffered brain injuries or strokes, and along with that, and supporting a good cause, there is the chance to be the winner of one of these as well. So that's it for today though. Thank you very much for watching. I'm excited for where this is going to go. The Topaz skin is beginning on the new Shmeemobile, the G63, ready and set. Can't wait to show it to you, can't wait to see it in not very long from now. So that's it for this time. Thanks again guys, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers!